Chapter 1. Amanda Wilson was not actively religious, nor given to superstition. She did not consult with angels, believe in UFO abductions, or consider herself reincarnated. Neither, however, was she unaffected by the talking dead. The corpse, propped up in a bed 10 feet away, was slightly green and vaguely smelly. Amanda had not initially recognized the electronically generated monotone she heard as speech, and it took her a moment to associate the voice with the corpse. The voice trailed off. Dr. Kenneth Conklin monitored the flickering lights and gauges of the equipment wired to the corpse, while Dr. Gregory Ellerby, poised at a microphone, conducted the apparent interrogation. They were unaware that Amanda, struggling to control herself, was crouching in the doorway of the dimly lit laboratory. "Want me to jolt him?" asked Kenny Conklin, a small round man with long dark hair and a full beard. He made Amanda think of some forest creature in a lab coat. "Not just yet," said Dr. Ellerby. He leaned forward in his chair, keyed the microphone on his desk, and asked, "What did Mrs. Russell say on that Friday you had breakfast with her?" There was no movement of the corpse or animation in the dead man's face, but the voice resumed. That seemed to please Ellerby. He made some notes and then asked a follow-up question. "At breakfast that Friday, did Mrs. Russell say how she knew the report would not be released until the following Monday?" When the corpse didn't answer, Kenny Conklin said, "Come on, Greg, we need to keep this moving." Ellerby repeated the question. When the corpse still didn't answer, he nodded, and Kenny hit a switch. Sparks flew from the machinery and electricity cracked and popped. A twisted, pathetic moan came from the dead man. Amanda cried out in sympathy. Startled, Greg and Kenny got to their feet and rounded on her. She straightened up, holding her hands instinctively in front of her, moving backwards slowly. "I'm sorry," she said. "I'm sorry, it was open." She bent down and picked up a large foam dart from the floor. "This was stuck in the door, keeping it open. I need to talk to one of you." Greg and Kenny stopped moving forward. "I need a signature for the second heart-lung unit," she continued. "A signature for the requisition?" That was true. She was the office admin, the entire office administrative staff, in fact, including receptionist in the small lobby, where she spent her days behind her orderly desk, almost totally undisturbed. "The mail pickup comes just before lunch. I wanted to get it out today." Greg Ellerby, who was tall and smiled easily, who Amanda thought was cute as opposed to his creepy little friend, Dr. Conklin, shrugged his shoulders. "Yeah." He motioned to his right, took the end of the room where there were chairs and a smartboard. "We've been talking about your role here. Do you have time to chat a bit?" Amanda had loads of time. She had time to mull over her decision to leave Washington for a job at this VA research facility in upstate New York, her brief marriage which had gone so listlessly and expensively wrong, and the drab expanse of the rest of her young life stretching before her. But having loads of free time was not information you shared with the boss. She looked at her watch and made something of a pout with her small, neat mouth. "Okay." Greg Ellerby spread his arms to encompass the room. "I guess this all looks pretty weird to you." Amanda said it certainly did. "It's all legal," said Kenny. "It's legal, but it's secret. Really secret." "I have a very good security clearance," said Amanda. Greg nodded. "The problem is that this is an investigation, and some of the people we're investigating are inside government. They have good security clearances, too." He paused before continuing. "Normally," he said with his eyes locked on hers, "in a situation like this, you would be detained."
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.